back on the keyword. We had some winners last time, so we want some more winners again. Our company loves to pay people. Believe me when I tell you. So you got an opportunity to win $1,000. Jump on it. Francis is on vacation. Dom is back for a second week. Hello, Dom.
Hey, what's up, Greek?
All right. And a special guest today who is really just doing it all for us on short notice. He's jumping in for a couple hours because Brandy's on vacation. Hello, Jason.
What's up, guys? We're on fire right off the bat here. I just want to say that. Literally, I reached over to plug my headphones in, and I'm leaning my head over a candle that I did not realize was there, and I'm like, why do I feel this hot sensation on my face?
I figured a little,
a little atmosphere setting the mood for me. You
got the Dolphin shirt on.
I went throwback today.
Okay.
Because I want to throw back to a better time as being a Dolphins fan.
Well, you're always welcome.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. I know you're a big Dolphin fan, probably the biggest Dolphin fan I know. We'll talk about the Dolphins tonight. Is there a season on the line? If you guys think so, you could call us at 877-927-6969. How was the weekend? What did you guys do? If you did anything special, call us. Also, Georgia-Alabama was an unbelievable game that it was being like at Monroe's. It got better and better as the night went on. Crazy fourth quarter. They were up, they were down. Alabama comes up 28-0. If you had Georgia, you're like, lights out. But is it better to lose the game and it's a blowout, you're done? Or is it worse when it gets teased and then you think, because you're leading with like 2 minutes left after losing 29-0, everybody at Georgia said, I'd rather have it the other way. Call us and let us know, 877-927-6969. What do you guys think? If you have money on the line or a fan, they're losing 28-0. Then they come all the way back 34-33 and then lose. What would you rather?
Gee, I'm watching this game on Saturday night, right? So I go out. I'm doing the obligatory double date that my wife got set up. It's her and her friend. And me and the other husband, right?
Yeah.
We don't know each other that well.
Okay.
Nice enough guy, though, right? He's not really.
Well, you get along with everybody.
Right. He's not that much into football. So we go to we go to dinner, right? And then we're going to go to a bar afterward. I'm like, all right, well, there's got to be a game on. This game has to be on at whatever bar we're at. So the two of the wives are yucking it up, and I'm just sitting there staring and watching this game. I see him actually like getting sucked into this game. I'm like, Alabama's destroying Georgia right now, which was blowing me away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is this possible? This is freaking Georgia right here.
Yeah, they didn't play good.
They did not play good, especially that first half.
Terrible.
We left at the first half, and I'm like, man, they're getting blown out right now.
Oh, we were saying 55-0. My friends were like, it's a blowout. It's done.
Crazy. And then I was driving home during basically the whole second half, and I didn't see hardly any of the game. And I watched the score when I got home. I'm like, holy crap, what happened?
Yeah,
they almost came back.
They were winning. Yeah. 34-33 with 2 minutes left. Then Alabama throws a bomb to this kid who's 17 years old by now.
Nuts, man.
17. Yep. He's probably a senior in high school, but Alabama grabbed him. And he makes two unbelievable plays and scores. But, yeah, it was a crazy game. That's why when you're watching sports, it's never over until it's over.
Nope.
You can say it a million times. And when a team has a lead early, it's really not good. Happened yesterday in the NFL, only held down. Minnesota was killing the Packers.
Right.
And then the Packers came back. But, yeah, that game was where I was down with a bunch of guys, and there's like the juice died was 20-0 because whether you want Alabama or Georgia, you don't want to blow out in the first quarter.
You want an exciting game.
Yeah, it reminded me years ago the Super Bowls had that trend where they'd be blowouts and everybody be like, "Oh, this sucks," because that's what you thought.
Right.
And then halftime comes, then Georgia comes back, scores a little tidbit. All of a sudden, Alabama has a hard time, and you're like, "Is this a game?
Right?
Is this a game?" But if you're a betting man, what a tease that was! Oh. 34-33, you come all the way back, the anxiety, and then Alabama scores a touchdown. But it was it's going to go down as a classic, especially in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
And I didn't watch any of the fourth quarter. I was so upset, man. I was in the car on 95 the whole time.
Yeah, they kept showing Saban, and he was like stoned like this.
Well, that's Saban though. He doesn't show emotion at all. I mean, you've watched him on the pre-games and all that. Like the guy.
You think he roots for Alabama to lose? Because he's not there?
No. I think he's got a certain spot in his heart there for Alabama.
They had the field.
You watch him during the college pre-games. They got him next to McAfee, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't pick two polar opposite people to have right next to each other.
Yeah.
I think having McAfee next to him, he's starting to come out of his shell just a little bit.
Yeah.
But seeing Saban's face during that game on Saturday, he was just sitting there stone cold.
Yeah.
That kisser was just not moving one bit.
No, he said after the game, he goes, I know Georgia, they don't quit to the end of the game. It was built up to be a classic. It turned into a classic. It wasn't in the beginning. Like you said, 28-0.
Right.
And it was early. Like, first quarter was like, you're like, they're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just going out. Beck for Georgia really didn't look good. He looked a little like shell-shocked in the beginning. But yeah, it turned out to be a classic. But I'd rather get blown out and it ends than the tease. Because to me, that is so much anxiety.
Right.
When you come all the way back and you're like, oh, we got 2 minutes. This is unbelievable. This is the greatest game in the world. And then Alabama throws a bomb.
Well, boy, it makes for a fun watch, though, right?
Oh, my God.
I saw an article that said it was the best SEC game in probably 40 years.
I believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, and started out to be the worst. Like I said, in the beginning, everybody was so much like, this is a blowout.
Right.
This sucks. It was built up to be so high. And then it finished the way it did, which was great. Miami Dolphins tonight are home.
Monday Night Football, baby. Let's go.
Monday Night Football. We were just on Thursday Night Football. This is a big game for the Dolphins. And as a Dolphin fan, are you excited for tonight? Do you think there's a shot?
Of course, I think there's a shot. Look, you're going against the 0-3 Tennessee Titans. You know, they're winless. They need to win just as much as we need this win.
0-3 teams are dangerous.
Yes, they are, because they're almost desperate. You know, and it's a new coaching staff. The guy's assistant is his dad up there. It's a whole weird dynamic there. But here, I'm excited to see what Snoop's got, what he's going to show up to the
now,
the field
is it
with.
Snoop Dogg? Or?
I don't. I was talking with my wife yesterday. I was like,
who is it?
I'm trying to explain what's happening with the Dolphins to her. I'm like, all right, Tua. She knows the name Tua.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's out till week 8 at least. You know, we had this guy Skyler, who I never was a fan of.
No.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and cast aspersions. I could not do that job either.
No.
You know, that's why I'm in
you're a
radio,
fan.
right? But I'm a fan. I'm like, I didn't like Skyler, and I didn't think he did that great of a job. Obviously, when we put him out on Seattle. Against the Seahawks, he just crapped the bed, then got hurt, and then we had to pull our freaking practice squad QB up to freaking play. Snoop is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He was.
You know,
a couple years ago.
It's not like you just get to that level by being a scrub, you know? So I'm anxious to see, number one, and we were talking about this on Saturday during the locker room, I'm anxious to see how they adjust the playbook to fit him, because he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, Tua, say what you want about him, a very accurate passer, gets the ball out so fast. He does not move.
Nope.
He does not run the ball. The one time he runs the ball, he gets a freaking concussion.
Yeah, so he's not running. No more running.
Exactly. So Tyler Huntley, different story. So I'm anxious to see how it's going to play out. What Mike McDaniel is going to do. Look, Tyler Huntley's had, a week and a half to learn the existing playbook?
Yeah, I mean, Huntley, if you're not familiar, he's a mirror image of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, same thing. He could run. He keeps plays open. I think it's going to be a little bit, vanilla in the beginning.
Sure.
Because they don't know much.
Well, they got to get their footing.
Sure. And then they're going to improvise. And that's the thing with quarterbacks like that who scramble, run around. They can make something happen.
Sure.
I mean, we saw it about it. You want to talk about a game like Miami Friday night. I mean, Ward gets tackled, going down, throws the ball in the air, goes to the tight end, and he scores. And that was a crazy ending, too, to Kane game, where everybody was going crazy.
Nuts. Didn't see any of that one,
man. You got to watch the last play.
All right, I will. I know you guys were talking about it on Saturday morning, and I'm just like, I didn't see the game. I was out busy the night before. I couldn't watch it, but I heard, obviously, all about
crazy.
it. Yeah, it's nuts.
Crazy. I mean, again, I don't know why teams let the guys rush 3 and the quarterback just sits back and just throws it up.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 ball.
Right.
I mean, you can't throw on your back. You can only do one thing on your back, and it's not throw a pass. So what are you doing? I mean, blitz them. Do something.
Do something, yeah.
If you're a Jet fan today, stop by. I'll buy a pancake. I know you feel very bad. That was a brutal game.
Oh man, a 10-9 loss against the Broncos. Man, I'm watching that. I'm obviously a diehard Dolphins fan, so I really don't care for the Jets one bit. But I'm like, man, these guys, what's happening with them?
Well, the Dolphins did good yesterday because everybody in their division lost.
Right. The Bills. Oh, that freaking the Ravens game last night. I'm like, what is happening right now? Where are the Bills that were here? Playing against Miami on that Thursday night game. Where are the Bills that have been showing up all with weeks 1 through 3? Nothing.
Henry.
Nothing
First of all, Henry's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a truck. I mean, for people who think he's too old, would you? 2 guys on Buffalo tackled him and both got hurt. I mean, he is just unbelievable, really. And it's going to take. What people don't realize with the NFL now is, as a fan, it's going to take 5-6 weeks for these teams to get where they need to be.
Sure.
I mean, again, there's no preseason. They don't hit. It's going to take a little time. And the Ravens are not done. And then it seemed like yesterday, the Jets, I think, had 17 penalties. 17!
Didn't they have nothing but negative yardage in the first quarter or something like that?
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
It was not good.
Yeah, and if you're betting in the NFL, teams that are getting 7 or more are 89% to cover in the first month. 7 or more.
Wow.
So, again, but those are things that you're like, I can't bet Denver. Denver sucks. The Jets are home. They're 2-1. And I was watching this game, and I said, oh, my God, what a sucking. Rex Ryan is great on the air. Not really. The brunette, I am a big fan. I got to be honest. I'm not watching it for Rex.
No.
I think what they should do is actually not show Rex and show her. Because the brunette is my wheelhouse. And I'm like, sorry, Rex. Could you move it? Imagine if I was in the camera. Slide over. Get away from Rex.
Too funny.
But yeah, football again all weekend. If you guys get a chance, give us a call at 877-927-6969. Were you shocked with the Georgia-Alabama game? Again, tonight, Miami home, Monday Night Football, but a weird time.
Yeah, 7:30 kickoff.
That's weird because there's two games.
Yeah, it's weird, and I actually am opting to sit this one out.
I think
usually I'm at every single game. I got season tickets, but today it's just like, you know what? More so, and here was the deciding factor. Number one, I got a lot going on at work. I don't have time to these weekday games really screw.
I told
my
Stephen
schedule
Ross
up.
yesterday he might not be there. So he was all right. He goes, all right, great guy. I understand he's got a lot to do, and he's got to be with you for an hour or two. So he goes, oh my god.
The other thing is I want to see what Tyler Huntley can do, and I want to be able to see it on my big screen. I want to be able to watch that game and see every position or every inch that's moved around in this game. I just want to see. So I'm like, and I can work at the same time. I can get a lot of things done.
Sure.
So I'm sitting it out. Hit on Ticketmaster if you want to buy my tickets.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I love that.
They're
What do they go
listed,
over?
why not?
They're less than Taylor Swift tickets.
They are a lot less than Taylor Swift. The ticket prices right now for this game are just bottomed out, man.
Of course.
Just like that Thursday night game, you could put, like, if you had upper level tickets, you could have sold them for $200 a pop.
What about tonight?
Tonight they're like
50?
$40.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane. You can go for pretty cheap if you're trying to get down to the game.
Tonight's game, the problem is that at the time. So either you got to leave around 3:34,
right?
Because 6 to 7,
sure.
Going down 95 at a turnpike, it's bumper to bumper.
It's horrible. Yeah,
it really is.
Look, so that Thursday night game, I left the office here. We're off 45th and Congress, and I left the office at 3:30.
Wow!
And because we have a whole tailgate, thing that we do,
serious.
And I wanted to get down there with the boys and grill up and eat some grub and talk shop with the game and everything. And I didn't get there until it was 6:15. So it took me 2 hours and 45 minutes just to get to Hard Rock Stadium, which is actually good for that time of day.
Oh, it's brutal.
So if you're going to the game, you leave a little bit earlier. I think that with these games, 4 hours is when they open the gates open. So 3:30 is when the parking lot should be open for tailgate and everything. I recommend you get there like 3 o'clock.
No, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Just take a half day. You know what? You got my permission. Take the whole day off.
Jason's giving everybody
just get ready for the game. All right.
All right, Greek. Let's go tonight.
$40 isn't bad, but I'm thinking need to. I got some things I got to do business. When we went down. I went with those guys from Duty Calls, which was nice, and they have a very, unbelievable situation.
Sure.
So we left late. The kickoff was 8:15. We left Boca at 7:30, and we got there for the kickoff.
Right.
And then but he has his pass for the black lane.
Yeah, you get right in there, man.
It's crazy.
It's
But what happened was we were going halfway around, and some guy shot in our lane.
Mm-hmm.
We almost had a head-on, but there was a motorcycle police officer who did a great job, came flying over and winged him down.
Good.
And got him out of the car, said, you're done. The guy was
Tyreek killed him.
Oh, my, worse than Tyreek. I think they told his car.
Really?
They went nuts because he was going in wrong traffic.
Wow.
But it's called the black lane. You go in there, and you go around the stadium. You basically pull into a garage.
That's great.
And then you hit a button, and then you go upstairs, and you're right there.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's wow. But again, they're big supporters and sponsors. And we got there when the ball went up.
Yeah,
so it wasn't bad.
I'm a blue collar guy. I'm in the upper levels. I'm out there in the orange lot with the rest of the people. I can't afford that black lane luxury.
I was just duking somebody. No.
That's the way to do it, man. If you could do it, that is the way to do it. But.
No. There is you get a special pass, and it definitely. But once you do that, like everything else in life, you're spoiled.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the other thing anymore. You're like, oh, this is brutal.
Man, I don't know what it was about that Thursday night game too, man. That was one of the hottest damn games I've ever been to.
It was hot,
and I'm a creature of the heat. I love it hot. The hotter, the better. The more humidity, bring it. Let's go. Because especially for us, the other teams can't handle it.
Yeah, that's why Dolphins always wear white.
Right. And, it was a night game. And for that Bills game, it was the whole row was sold out. So I had sweaty dudes on either side of me. And I'm just like, man, it's damn hot. It was hotter than a 1 o'clock kickoff game the week before. I'm like, wow, it was hot. At least to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm going through menopause or something. I'm getting heat waves or something. I don't know.
And if you are, you can make some money with that. We'll get you on 60 Minutes tonight. We'll see what we do. Here, I'm Jason, and this is what I've experienced. No, it is a weird time tonight for the game. Dolphins really need to win. You don't want to be 1-3.
No.
2-2 changes the whole complex. And then, obviously, if Tua comes back, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, week 8, it's funny to see him he was at the Seahawks game on the sideline. He wasn't dressed, obviously, but he was sitting there wearing his chain and his glasses and everything. And I'm like, he had the look of somebody that had it together.
Yeah.
He did not want to be. You clearly can tell he does not want to be on the sideline. The guy wants to play.
Sure.
But we still have got 4 more weeks to let him rest up and heal up before he gets back on the field. By that time, a lot can happen.
Yeah, I mean, and again, they're saying 4 more weeks. We don't know.
Right.
It could be less. I mean,
could be more.
It might be more. It might be. You just don't know with his situations he's in, and the Dolphins aren't saying anything.
Right.
It's very hush-hush.
Well, and would you say anything? I mean, there's a lot of movements that can be made.
Yeah.
There's names out there. I mean, we can get into this a little bit later, but Tannehill's out there still. A lot of people keep talking about him. Russell Wilson is sitting right there. I mean, Fields did not have a good game yesterday.
Yeah, he played terrible.
But, for the first 3 weeks, he's doing all right.
Yeah.
So, and look, Denver's still paying Russell Wilson. So
$38 million.
Yeah, it's insane. Is Pittsburgh even paying him more than $1 million? It's just $1 million, the league minimum, right?
$1 million.
Yeah. So there's a potential play to be made there. There's a lot of what ifs and what have yous that could happen over the next handful of weeks.
People don't realize a lot of times in sports there's a lot of politics involved, and people like each other. Now, the Steelers might not want to give Russell Wilson to the Dolphins. Who knows what their relations is?
Right.
You just don't know.
Sure.
Because a lot of times people don't understand. Like, as a fan, everybody's like, what's going on?
Right.
I talked to somebody over the weekend who knew Tannehill's agent. And I'm like, I don't know. Tannehill supposedly wants $10 to $12 million. So, I mean,
can you blame him?
Yeah, but I'm saying that's
Can
why.
you blame him?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be a backup. He wants to be the starter guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why he's probably, that he's not getting picked up.
Sure.
I mean, Joe Flacco came in yesterday.
I was just about to bring up Joe Flacco. I'm like, look what this guy did. They got him off of the couch last year, put him in Cleveland, and goes and kills it for Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then, now he's in Indy. Robinson, right? He used to be for Florida Gators. He gets hurt hip injury or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Flacco comes in and just has a great game and beats the crap out of the Steelers. I'm like, what's happening here?
Flacco, do you think he's unhappy married? Because he just doesn't want to retire.
Man, these guys in football,
got millions.
They want to play, man. They want to play, and I get it. I understand it. But maybe he's not happy at home. I don't know. Maybe he's not.
He reminds me of one of my buddies. We went out the other night, and we were down at Los Olas hanging out. And we were watching the games. It was late, And I don't know how, 12:30, 1 o'clock. He goes, I'm going to walk around for a while. And we were like, where you walking? Like, it's go home. You know what I mean? You're not 25.
Just want to go home.
Yeah. That's my point. I'm like, how unhappy are you, dude?
Yeah, man.
And he's like, I guess I'm going to walk around for a while. I'm like, go home.
Right.
You're not 25.
Jeez.
Walk around. We had to figure out some parking situations on Saturday night. And I am like, wow, I got to figure this out. I had to put my plate down, pay for it. It was like, wow, it was big like accomplishment. Almost had to call Dom.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I called this girl I knew, and she's like, Greek, what are you having a problem doing? I go, she goes, because everybody did everything for your whole life. She goes, that's the problem. I said, do you not want to help me? She goes, no, I'll help you. What do you need? It is the Greek, Jason, and Dominic. Freddie's on vacation. She should be back tomorrow. We're going to come back in a couple minutes with a trifecta, and we're also going to talk about Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady getting better? We'll be back in a few minutes. Peace.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I want to lose weight myself. Oh
my God, you're going to get Ozempic, aren't you?
I'm not going to get Ozempic. I'm just cutting calories, and it's working so far.
The News Junkie, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, make some noise!
Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu, beginning Monday.
All right, you guys are out for a party, I can tell.
See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage on one show.
This iHeart energy is so incredible.
See it all at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu, beginning Monday.
Getting you up to speed on traffic on Real Radio.
You'll find a backup on I-95 approaching Glades Road. An earlier crash on the southbound turnpike before Atlantic Avenue has moved to the left shoulder. Spot something on the roads, call the traffic tip line. Pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hurst.
This report is sponsored by Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections.
I'm Wendy Sartori-Link, your Palm Beach County Supervisor of Elections. Palm Beach County is election ready. Protecting your vote is our top priority. Rest assured, every eligible vote will be secure and counted accurately. Your vote matters. Visit votepalmbeach.gov.
Hey, it's the Greek for the Hard Rock app. Don't want to bet a ton of money? Try a parlay. The more bets you combine the parlay, the bigger your potential payout. Even if you only bet small, it turns into a big payday. Bets start as low as $1. If you're betting, you got to bet with the Hard Rock app. Download it today. It's football season, baby. Take advantage and have some fun. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-AMIT.
Welcome to Homestead Miami, your home for the racing highlight. A track as vibrant and colorful as South Florida. An Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series playoffs doubleheader on Saturday. A Cup Series playoffs showdown on Sunday. And it's all caliente.
Side by side for the race lead.
NASCAR playoffs weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, October 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at homesteadmiamispeedway.com.
Hell of a job, guys.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smithball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. A motor vehicle crash occurs in the blink of an eye and never takes place at a good time. From personal experience, and after more than 25 years of helping car accident victims, I know how painful, disruptive, and stressful the crash and its aftermath can be. To further complicate matters, there are often very complex legal and insurance issues that arise from the crash. The entire legal team at Smithball, Baez, and Prather knows how to navigate through such legal maze following an accident. If you've been in an accident, the lawyers at Smithball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smithball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
When a hurricane hits, it's best to be prepared. Since 1996, StormSmart has installed over 100,000 protection and lifestyle products in Florida homes. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
This season on the new podcast, Rip Current, the story of the only two women who tried to assassinate an American president.
A woman fired a shot at President Ford in San Francisco this afternoon.
One was a protege of Charles Manson.
26-year-old Lynette Fromm, nicknamed Squeaky.
The other, a middle-aged housewife undercover for the FBI.
Identified by police as Sarah Jean Moore.
Listen to Rip Current on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Rip Current and start listening.
I received a call one time, and the man said, "You probably won't call me back because I'm just a nobody." I immediately called him back. Nobody's a nobody.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I always wanted to be the lawyer who represented the little guy, the voiceless, the powerless.
I was rear-ended by a car probably doing about 50 or 55 miles an hour. My car caught on fire. I'm a paraplegic, so I couldn't get out of the car. They were struggling to get me out of the vehicle. After the accident, I gave Morgan & Morgan a call, and they understood what I was going through, and they were there to help me each step of the way. It made me feel that I had people behind my back to help me and resolve the case.
I represented him, and we did well because we get the chance to help people put their lives back together and to go on as best they can after a life-altering day. There's only one you, there's only one Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay. Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or Avastin Captain Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
This week on Red Pilled America, we explore Kamala Harris's mysterious time in Montreal and tell the story of a Donald Trump battle that planted the seed of the MAGA revolution. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
Real Radio weather.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. It's a hot and humid one out there for us as we continue to move through our Monday morning. Temperatures starting to head up into the 80s. Highs, though, back into the low 90s today. Feeling in the triple digits when you factor in the humidity. A couple of coastal showers across parts of the area for the morning, although we do stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy through the day. I'll get a stray passing shower inland later on.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles.
Together, you say goodbye, and I say hello.
Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio, free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
You're listening to Real Radio 92.1, and we are an iHeartRadio station. Listening to the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yes, you're back in the Penthouse on a Monday night football night for Miami Dolphin fans. That's right. The whole country will be watching our Dolphins tonight. Dominic's in the house.
Good morning, Penthouse.
Francis is on vacation. She should be back tomorrow. Hello, Jason.
I mean, she's probably a little depressed over that Georgia performance on Saturday. She might take another day just because of that.
All right.
You're like, I'm not going to argue. You're probably right.
I'm not going to say anything. I just show up. Whoever's here is here. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
I can't imagine. Like, I know she was busy over the weekend, and I'm like, is she watching the game on her phone?
Oh, I'm sure.
Is she freaking out right now? She had to, like, anxiety levels had to have been super high for Franny.
But like I said earlier, the good thing about that is you get blown out.
Yeah.
So you're like, the game's over.
Right.
And then, like, you start doing other things, especially her. She was maybe working or hanging out with her friends, and all of a sudden, they scored.
Right.
They scored again.
Right.
And then you get so close, and you're like, it's like a girl maybe you see in a restaurant like 8 o'clock, you go up to her and she goes, I got a boyfriend. And then you see her like 11 o'clock, you get in your car and she goes, we just broke up.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's happened to me, by the way. And I'm like, oh my God. At 8 o'clock, you had a boyfriend. At 11 o'clock, you broke up. So you never know. What's better? Let's do a trifecta.
Riders up. It's Creek's Trifecta.
Creek's Trifecta, always sponsored by Pollard Coffee Bar in Deerfield Beach. Okay, last night, some football going on. Ravens ended up beating the Bills, who were 3-0. So, again, the narrative today is the Ravens the best team in football? There are two undefeated teams Still, nobody takes the Vikings serious, but they're very good. Got a great defense. And you might not like their quarterback. He's not sexy and he's got red hair, but he's winning. And he's only making $10 million. And for all the guys that are making $50 million, they're not winning.
Right.
Chiefs are still undefeated, but my God, they got bad news. 2 of their big stars are hurt and done. Rice is out for the year. Ripped his ACL.
Really?
That's what they're saying this morning, yeah. And Pacheco's going to be
off.
Yeah, he got carted off. And on an interception. He got hit by Mahomes, which is weird. And then Pacheco's supposed to be out for almost like 10 weeks.
What?
Yeah, so
Whoa.
Even though they're 4-0.
Big change.
When did this happen? Because I was watching the game yesterday, but I didn't catch the whole thing. I'm sitting at this. There's an Italian rush. Oh man, it was so good. By the way, that chicken piccata, fantastic. I'm watching the game, and I'm
because
like,
the food was so good.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, Rice is no more. Now he's Rice Roney.
Oh,
he's out.
Damn.
He's done. He's out. Ripped up his ACL. And I got the Chiefs to 3-peat. We'll see what happens. But again, I've said it for years. I'll say it. I still think Mahomes can win with their Kardashians.
You could listen.
Chloe, go deep. Kim, down and out. And Courtney, just a button hook.
There was a lot of talk about Travis Kelce and the distractions and all that leads into it, And I was having dinner watching that game last night, and I'm watching Mahomes go to Kelce a handful of times, and he's just not connecting.
Yeah, they're missing.
And I'm like, what's going on here?
Now she didn't go to the game yesterday. Everybody's talking about it. Ooh.
Big deal.
My buddy goes, the game was in Vegas, Greek. I said, dude, you realize she's got 9 jets? She can go anywhere.
Right.
She's not in Terminal B in Newark Airport waiting for JetBlue. Like she didn't go.
Well, there was the rumor mill, not to get into the Taylor drama or whatever, but there was a rumor mill a couple of weeks ago that there's going to be a planned breakup between the two of them coming up in October, something like that, and their PR teams both squashed that along the way. But
he's just not. He's not on the right page right now, and I still think a lot of stuff off the season. All that time, like anything else in life, like right now, you're on with us,
right?
But you're usually doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing one thing, you can't do the other. He's not practicing. He's traveling a lot. And maybe it's just they're doubling him or whatever. He's going to get more doubles now that Rice is out and Pacheco. So, again, that team is good like all teams in sports because what ends up happening is there's 4 or 5 different options.
Right.
So people open up. And when there's not that many options, you know what? Things change. So we'll see what happens. But the Vikings are still undefeated, and so are the Chiefs. But Rice looks like he has a torn ACL, which is very bad news. All right, if you're a Met fan today, you got 2 chances, and you're like, all I got to do is win 1 game, and you go to playoffs. So anybody who's got the Mets, and I talked to a bunch of my friends, are like, I'm taking off. I'm going to watch a game all day. And I love when people say that their job. Like, I say to myself, like, that must be a great job.
It must be nice, right?
Watch a game all day and hang out.
I mean, we got TVs here in the studio, so
we're
we
just
can get
keeping
away
up for
with
atmosphere.
it.
We just want people to think like we're busy. So we walk by, oh, wow, that looks cool. But yeah, that's it. So the Mets win 1 game and they're in the playoffs. Yankees had the best record in the American League. Dodgers have the best record in the National League. Ohtani.
So Yankees took the league then, right?
Yeah.
I know the Guardians were nipping at their heels there for a little bit.
Yeah, and they ended up Yankees had the best record, so they have home field.
Good.
And Ohtani and Judge, both of them are going to win MVPs.
All right. Did you see all the stuff about Ohtani's ball and,
that guy.
and the kid who caught it initially? I guess his 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid in Miami that apparently says he had possession of that ball.
Yeah, and these guys knocked him down.
Yeah, and then they took the ball from him. I mean, what do you think about that?
I just think
was it his ball?
Years ago, that happened all the time. It just shows you the way things, like years ago, you wouldn't even bring that up because people look at you and go, what is wrong with you? You should have held the ball.
Yeah.
But there's a judge that's holding up the sale, which is amazing that this is happening.
Well, they let the auction happen, but they can't transfer anything until everything settles in court, right?
Yeah, and but I'm shocked that this kid did this. I give him stones.
Yeah,
because he was like, that was my ball. I got muscled, bullied, the whole thing, whatever it was. And he's going to a judge and he's saying, I had it. And the guy knocked it out of my arm. But if you've been to a baseball game, you see so many times guys drop the ball, grab it. Everybody's going to sue everybody now because they want that ball.
Well, nowadays, everybody's got it on film.
That's
Back
what I was
in the day, there was none of that.
No.
So it just had to play out right there in the
Your
stands.
word against mine.
Cameras are everywhere now.
Exactly. Thank you, Dom. Cameras are everywhere now, and he might have actual possession or might have footage of him having possession of that ball. If he's got possession of that ball, then technically he was assaulted and jumped, and they took that ball from him. He might actually have something.
So if you're the guy who has the ball and the kid's suing you, do you go to him and go, we want to go 50-50, and you call up the judge and go, we came up with an agreement?
Listen, I think that's the safe bet.
Yeah.
I think, we were talking about this last season, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been in regards to this. I remember now exactly. It was the Suicide League that I was in.
Yeah.
And
yes,
it was against me and some other guy.
Yeah, and I
and
said to
at the
split
end,
it.
he's like, why don't you just approach him and say, hey, let's just call it quits now and split the winnings evenly.
Yeah.
It's the same scenario.
Yeah.
And if I'm the guy who is probably on video basically assaulting this kid,
Yeah.
I would say, let's do that, because then it could prevent me from potentially getting assault charges levied against me, and it looks better for the whole picture. The optics are a lot better.
Sure, I don't.
Will
think
he do it? I don't know.
I don't know if he'll get like an assault charge. He might get a ticket because I don't think it's a bid thing. He just knocked the ball out of hand. But I think that the judge might, if they went to the judge and say, "Hey, we came up with agreement."
Right.
Jason and Greek, and we don't need a court because they
Sure.
like everything to be settled. Be like, we're going to go 50-50.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, the kid might push back and go, oh, you're worried. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And he might go 70-30 or something like that. Because I do think if it gets there, I was shocked it even got to court. Everyone was talking about it. I'm like, wow.
Well, I think, and he's a young kid.
He's
so
18.
He's probably not going to think it through thoroughly. That's the.
Oh, he's got a lawyer.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, I hope his lawyer is going to give him some guidance on this, because maybe the lawyer will have, calmer heads prevail and say, hey, you have an opportunity to get half of something versus zero of everything.
I give him credit because I would have never thought it to sue. That's not my makeup, but it is his. Somebody gave him enough guidance to where he was probably talking, I was at the game,
Yeah.
I had the ball, the guy, and somebody said, sue him.
Right.
I mean, because that's how it happens.
Well, it's a litigious society we live in now, so
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
it's
surprised
brutal.
one bit. I'm not
And
surprised
like
one
you
bit.
said, the camera's over there.
Yeah?
So the guy who strong-armed them, because people get so booed over the years when you see like somebody, you've seen highlights where a guy catches a ball and the kid's going for it.
Right.
And then, people go, oh, you suck, heck, social media. But even before, you're like, what are you doing? And
Right.
then you give the ball to
Of
the
course,
person.
give it to the kid.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's what you
If
do.
it's a little kid, different story. But in this case, look, you're 18, brother. You're old enough to vote. You're old enough to get in the military. You're a grown-ass man. So, you're not a kid anymore. And, taking the ball from an adult is a different story than taking it from a little kid. Now, again, this is a special ball, too.
Yeah, 50 home run.
Exactly. So it's not like it's just a regular, foul ball or regular home run. This has got some significance to it. That's why they're expecting to get, $1 million for this thing?
Yeah, that's what they're expecting.
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane.
And then a lot of times, like, there was a guy who's I don't know if you're familiar with him. He was a professional who used to go around and get all the balls. So he caught A-Rod's 600 ball. I don't know if you know the story. So J-Lo reached out to him when they were dating, and they couldn't come up with an agreement. He still has it.
Really?
Yeah, and then he's reached out to A-Rod since, and A-Rod's like, I don't want it. Like, that's where he negotiated too much.
Sure.
Like, again, man, if you can get some cash, grab that money.
Right,
It's
right.
a ball.
I think it all depends on the position you're in life at that point. Look, if you're just a blue-collar guy and you can use, some extra scratch, then yeah, make the deal. But if you're like a high-end, if you're a millionaire or whatever, you don't necessarily need the jack, but you want that ball. Yeah, it depends on
this
your
kid,
position.
he was a professional. He went around to all the stadiums, but he caught A-Rod's ball. I remember reading the article and also hearing from my friend. And I guess J-Lo got in touch with him, but they couldn't come up with a price. He wanted too much.
Wow.
And now he still has it. Then he reached out to A-Rod after the whole situation. He goes, I don't want it. And the kid was probably like, wow. Now he'll sell it to somebody, but not the money he would have got from J-Lo or A-Rod.
Exactly.
I would have said to J-Lo, like, give me, I don't know, $1 million and a back massage.
Worth it.
Now, I know, now, how about the whole thing with Puff Daddy with the baby oil? Costco comes out and goes, we don't sell baby oil. I thought that was so funny.
Oh, my God.
They
What's
were
wrong with you, Costco? Do you not want to moisturize babies? I mean, come on.
All of a sudden, they start selling it. But it's so funny, though. The lawyer who he's got to make serious money. I'm saying $1 million at least to represent him. Imagine Diddy when he's home. I mean, he's in jail and he hears this. Like, what'd you tell him? Oh, he buys them bulk at Costco. And Costco comes out like 48 hours later and goes, we don't sell it. Keep us out of this.
I mean,
that was crazy.
If you've got people, if you've got your entourage, you got people to handle that for him. I guarantee you that they didn't go directly, because we as regular people, when we think about buying in bulk, we automatically think Costco. So I can understand why Costco would want to come out and say,
we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't sell baby oil in bulk. and we certainly didn't sell it to Diddy.
It's so funny.
They want to, but you never thought in my wildest dreams, I never thought in a world there would be a scenario where Costco has to create separation from Diddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are.
And Baby Oil will never be the same.
No.
It'll never be looked upon the same.
No.
They might even change the name. They might get rid of it. It's so innocent and pure.
Yeah.
And then he gets involved in that. And the lawyer probably, like, his phone's probably blowing up. And he was probably like, what are you doing? They don't sell it. Like, could you imagine that? Like, and you're going to represent me and keep me out of jail? I fire him. I'd be like, you're done, dude. You suck. It was just a crazy thing that Costco even responded.
That's crazy.
And when it first came out, I said, wow, I wonder how Costco feels about this. Now we know.
Yeah,
They
now
were
you
like,
know.
no, don't even put us anywhere near it.
And they're going to put a baby oil ban on sales for the next 10 years just because of this.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep. 877-927-6969. If you want to call into the show, let us know about the Dolphins. Is their season on the line? If you did something cool this weekend, let us know. What did you think of Georgia, Alabama? What happens when you get into a crazy situation and it's not something you're doing? It happened to me on Friday when I was blowing up a football. But if you guys have one, you let us know. I know you were telling me a situation that you said I might be able to bust your chops about.
So here it is. It's I'm just going to say it, and this is going to be probably hyperbolic in nature, but my season is officially over. From a fantasy football season. Now, I'm not doing traditional fantasy football.
Okay.
I gave that up a couple years ago just because time, and I'm like, maybe when things smooth out down the line, I'll get back into it. But I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do the Suicide League, right?
Okay.
Last week, I'm traveling. I had to go to a wedding in Golden, Colorado, and
you do travel a lot though. Like you get on a plane, you don't mind.
All over the place, baby. Jet setting lifestyle. Here we go. I'm coming back from Golden. Denver area, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll make my pick when I land. I don't want to pick any of the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I you know what? I'll pick tonight's game. I'll go for tonight, and I'll do that when I land in Miami. I land in Miami, and I go to pick my game, and it wouldn't let me pick. So I called up the commissioner, and I was like, what the hell? Why can't I pick my game? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're not kicking off for another 4 hours. What's going on here? He's like, oh, all picks have to be in by 1 o'clock.
Oh!
I'm like, what are you doing to me here, man? He's like, oh, don't worry, man. It's your first pick. You still got another chance because it's 2 strikes and you're out.
So they took it away from you.
So he's like, I'm like, dude, wait a minute. There's literally a game tonight. There's another game tomorrow. I didn't have any interest in the 1 o'clock or the 4 o'clock games. I wanted to pick tonight's game. And he's like, the rules are the rules, man. I'm like, all right, fine.
Text me his address.
Exactly. It's $50 a head, winner take all. So it's like, all right, it's not that much. I'm not really too concerned about it. So I'm like, all right, strike one, already down. This is last week.
Okay.
And this past week, I was like, you know what? Steelers are legit. They're going to get the win over the Colts.
A lot of people thought that.
So I took the freaking Steelers.
So you're done.
And I am officially done. I just about won the damn league last year, and here I am, week 4, out.
There are so many suicide leagues that, and if you don't know what that means, is where you have to pick a game every week. As the season goes on, some leagues change to 2 teams you have to pick, and you get a couple misses that you could have. Some have 1, some have 2, and there are some very expensive leagues you get in.
Sure.
But majority of leagues are resetting and doing it over because what's happening is that a lot of people, or so many people, are out of the league already that they're resetting the league. And I know one, for instance, that a couple of my friends are involved in, and it had 20,000 people in it, and now it has 500.
Get out of here.
After a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people yesterday who had Pittsburgh. So a lot of people had Pittsburgh, and that was probably the biggest upset of the day.
I think it was.
And the Jets.
Yep.
So the Jets and that. And, so the first 4 weeks, the Bengals lost 3 weeks in a row. Everybody bet them. And they lost the game outright. So the Ravens, when they lost to the Raiders, that was another huge one, too. So there are some leagues that are resetting, where they're paying people out, they're letting them cut deals, and then they're going to reset. Because you got November, obviously October, November, December, and you don't want a league to be done already. And that's when you're in a position when you're like, hey, can we reset?
At this point in this specific league, and I've been eliminated. I am one of 18 players that have been eliminated. There's only 6 left.
That's my point.
So maybe they do a reset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what the other 6 have to decide, hey, do you want to split it?
Yeah.
Whatever we have. And then you go from there, and then you can whack it out. There's a league I know my buddies are in. It's an expensive league. It's $1,000 a person, and they had 100 guys in it, and they only got I think 7 left. So they said they might split it, 7 guys, and then they're going to restart it again.
Yeah.
But again, because the way it's been so many upsets, it's been crazy.
It's such a crazy season, and that's why I'm like, all right, my season's over. from a fantasy football perspective, and obviously I'm a huge Dolphins fan, so really it's been a tumultuous start to the season.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, do I just mail it in now and just throw the white flag or what? No, I'm not going to do that. Obviously, it's still pretty early.
Yeah, you got to get your money's worth.
Exactly, got to get my money's worth. It's still pretty early, but
and the thing with these leagues is that everybody who gets involved goes, "It's so easy. I just got to pick a winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no spread, so you're like, oh man, I just one winner a week. Who can't do that?
I can't believe my buddy said you got to get your picks in by 1 o'clock, even if there's plenty of games still to play. I'm like, what? What are you doing?
That's his rule, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they should be like, I wouldn't have a rule like that. Like, whatever game you want before the game starts.
Right.
I mean, that's the way it is, but they do it. Well, it's just like fantasy. And a lot of these guys who are like commissioners and stuff, they take it very serious. They take it more serious than U.S. senators.
Yeah. And they take themselves too serious, too. It's like all of a sudden they've had power for the first time in their life. They're like, oh, it's a fantasy football league, dude. Settle down.
Settle down. I got a buddy of mine tonight going on a first date to a Dolphin game. The girl likes sports a little. Is a first date for a football game okay? What do you think? Or is it too much time? That's a lot of time, first date. You're talking traffic, going down there, watching the game.
Are they tailgating?
No.
No, so they're just going straight to the game then.
No, it's his first date with her, and she said she likes football a little, and he said, how would you like to go to the game? He called me smart. He goes, Greek, what do you think? I said, I don't know. That's a long time to be with somebody. If it doesn't work out.
All right, there's many thoughts I have here. Number one, you're clearly leaning this date in the direction of what you want to do as opposed to what she wants to do. Now, she said that she likes football a little, right?
Yeah, and he said, would you like to go to a game? She said, I've never been to a Dolphin game.
Okay, well,
So
that's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah.
I think that's better suited for a second or third date.
Yeah.
Not the first one, because the first date, you're trying to get to know somebody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't want, and you're sitting side by side with somebody at a football game. You're not making the eye contact. The conversation's not there because.
But it's a long ride down.
It's also, well, there's that too. Are they riding together?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
All right.
he's not going to make her go by herself.
All right.
No way. No. He's a nice guy. He's cool. He said they're going to leave about like 5 o'clock. He's going to pick her up at work and then go down there. But I said that is just a long time to be with somebody for a first date.
Well, that's if they stay for the whole game.
Yeah.
They could
still,
go down there.
he's looking at least 3 hours.
Okay.
At least with the drive.
Oh, yeah. If it
There
doesn't
and
connect.
back.
And then there's the drive back, which if the date doesn't go well, could be very awkward. So I'm just saying that there's.
So then you would say no. First date Dolphin. I see first date. My thing is breakfast. I think breakfast is great because you got to eat
breakfast,
breakfast.
coffee, something like that.
Yeah,
And-
I like breakfast better.
Yeah, you can be look.
Yeah.
Gee, we're sitting here in the studio talking to each other. We're facing each other. We're making eye
I'm getting to
contact.
know you.
We're I've known you for 2 decades.
Getting real close.
We're good.
I'm connected. I'm feeling it.
Point being,
I lit a candle.
But when you're driving down the road,
Yeah.
you can't make that eye contact. When you're sitting at a game, you're probably not going to be making too much eye contact because you're focused on the game. You're not getting that interaction. You're not really getting to know each other as much as you would in a much more personal, private, or intimate environment. You know, like a nice dinner where it's not a loud restaurant is a good spot to do that.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of dinner, you can just say, all right, cool, nice knowing you, bye.
Yeah.
Or you
can't do that.
You can go out for another drink afterward if you want to extend the date or what have you. So, I mean.
He really likes her, and he said that when she said she never went to a game, he thought it'd be a great experience. I think he's thinking as a guy, like, man, I get to, hang with her 3-4 hours,
Right.
which is a long time. But we'll see.
Look, man.
It could work, it could not.
I've never taken a first date to a football game before. Frankly, I've never taken any date to a football game before. I've taken my wife, but that doesn't count. You know?
That's a date.
Okay.
Yeah. She can't leave you. She's there. I mean, I've taken 3 girls to Super Bowls, 0-3. So after the last one, I go, done.
Not anymore.
No
All
more
right.
Super
Yeah,
Bowls. No
yeah.
more Super Bowls for girls.
Well, that's the other thing. He's got to take into account weather, right? It's a controlled environment when you're inside at a restaurant, air conditioning, there's not sweat, there's not stench, there's none of that.
Yeah.
And, some girls don't like to be out in the heat for too long.
Sure.
You know?
And is she a drinker?
There's that too. And if she puts curls in, those curls are going to fall out immediately because it's so damn humid out.
So maybe just drive to the stadium and drive around?
Yeah, just circle the stadium.
I
That's
don't have
the date.
tickets, actually. I just wanted to see.
They're going to listen to it on the radio station.
Yeah, I just wanted to drive you down the Hard Rock to see how the traffic is.
Oh, boy.
And then you check it out and you do that. Let us know what you guys think. You can call us at 877-927-6969. It is Real Radio. It is the Penthouse on a Monday Night Football. We'll be back in a few minutes with a couple other different scenarios. And we'll talk about the Dolphins. Is their season on the line? We'll be back. Peace.
your friend. Follow us at Real Radio 92.1 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Let's see what's up with traffic on Real Radio.
We're checking out a crash that just cleared on 95. That'll be northbound at Gateway Boulevard. Again, that was blocking your right lane. Now move to the shoulder. Expect delays along the approach. Also looking at an accident 95 northbound at Belvedere Road. Avoid that area. That's traffic. I'm Ricky Russo.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we explore Kamala Harris's mysterious time in Montreal and tell the story of a Donald Trump battle that planted the seed of the MAGA revolution. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hey, it's Greek from Monroe's and Palm Beach. Watch the game with beautiful girls every Monday night. All new game booths available. Whether your team wins or loses, you're a winner at Monroe's. Bottle packages all night long. Raffles and beer bucket specials during every live game. It's Monroe's and Palm Beach. Monday night, that's where you need to watch football. 7 days a week, Monroe's is open with the beautiful ladies and a 5-star restaurant. Get over to Monroe's today. They make a good night a great night at Monroe's in Palm Beach. Peace.
When the going gets tough, the tough get StormSmart. Since 1996, StormSmart has simplified the process of protecting your home. Our storm catcher screens and shutters are designed and manufactured here in Florida. Along with impact windows and doors, StormSmart ensures your experience from purchase through installation is seamless. We know what it takes to keep your home safe, livable, and beautiful. Because Smart is making it easy to protect your home. And Smart is simple. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Hey, South Florida, it's Franny, and fall is here, and that means shopping season. So if you need extra cash and ready to sell your car, then you gotta check out GimmeTheVin.com. Get top dollar for used car right now at GimmeTheVin.com. They're 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau and pay more than their competitors. If they can't beat your CarMax offer, they'll pay you $100. It's fast, pressure-free, and they'll even pick up your car for free. Visit GimmeTheVin.com today and get your check on the spot.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Come on out to the Vero Bowl this Sunday for our next Miller Lite Pro Football watch party of the season as Miami takes on New England. Great food and drink specials, including $3 Miller Lite drafts during all televised pro football games all season long. Plenty of Real Radio swag and a chance to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Miami game. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Vero Bowl Lounge and Lanes, 929 14th Lane in Vero Beach. See you there.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Unless you've been totally off the grid, you probably know there's a big election this year. Did you know that there's so much more than the president on the ballot? This year, we are voting for members of the House and the Senate, governors and state legislatures, school boards and sheriffs, and so much more. People are making decisions that shape your future, with or without you. So make sure you vote about it. Don't sit out this election. Get registered and ready to vote right now at whenweallvote.org. Sponsored by Civic Nation.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon and Partners Weather Center, have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm meteorologist Lauren Oleski for CBS 12 News. It's a hot and humid one out there for us. We continue to move through our Monday morning. Temperatures starting to head up into the 80s. Highs, though, back into the low 90s today. Getting the triple digits when you factor in the humidity. A couple of coastal showers across parts of the area in the morning, although we do stay mostly sunny to partly cloudy through the day. Might get a stray passing shower inland later on.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Greek's Trifecta is sponsored by Strike's Cigar Lounge.
The films, the stars, the milestones, the awards. Here's Big Sue with the Week in Hollywood History.
October 1st, 1968.
The original horror classic Night of the Living Dead premieres in Pittsburgh. Also noted for its multiracial cast, it grossed roughly 250 times its $100,000 budget and is now recognized as one of the most influential films of its genre.
October 2nd, 1946.
With a budget of roughly $300 per episode, Faraway Hill, network television's first soap opera, begins its 2.5-month run on the now defunct Dumont Network.
October 3rd, 1941.
The Maltese Falcon is released, starring Humphrey Bogart and Mary Astor. A box office hit, it's now considered one of the best films ever made and is often cited as the first major example of the film noir style.
October 4th, 2019.
Actress and singer Diane Carroll passes away at age 84. Born Carol Diane Johnson in the Bronx, her 50-plus year career included playing Dominique Devereaux on 80s soap Dynasty and was the first black woman to star in a modern TV series, the late 60s sitcom Julia.
October 6th, 1927.
Hollywood makes a giant leap away from silent movies with the release of The Jazz Singer, the first film with a fully synchronized soundtrack including dialogue and musical numbers.
And that's the Week in Hollywood History on iHeartRadio.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Rover's Morning Glory wants you to score some Red Zone revenue. Win $1,000 now. Enter the nationwide keyword cash at realradio921.com. That's cash. Enter it now at realradio921.com. And good luck from Rover's Morning Glory and Real Radio.
You're listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
It is The Penthouse on a Monday. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope you listened to Rover and got your morning off on the good foot. I also want to thank everybody at Strikes because we had a great show on Friday. Nice, so nice to Eric Coleman stop by. Brady Matthews stopped by. The contestant did not win. We have one more game left. We tied, so you can't. It's not tie to Greek. It's beat to Greek. And this week, it'll be at the Crazy Horse. We're excited for that. And that is October 4th. Stop there. You always have a great time and enjoy yourself. Food's awesome. And get a Tito's with me. Dominic's in the house.
Hello.
And Francis isn't here, but just looking just as good is Jason.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I'm a sharp-looking fellow today. Now that G has confirmed that, I feel like this week is off to a great start.
You're off to a great start. I mean, you're right. I mean, we've always known each other, but I think like you're like somebody I knew, and then we didn't date, but then we see each other later and we're dating. You know what I mean? So we're getting to know each other better. One of those scenarios.
I'm glad we didn't date, G.
You don't know that.
Not sure.
One of my buddies just texted me, goes, I was at that restaurant when I did talk to a girl at 7:30, and she said she had a boyfriend, and when we were getting our car, she was out, and she looked at me, and she goes, I just broke up with my boyfriend. And he just goes, I remember that night. He goes, and how it ended. I said, yeah, it was crazy. I said, what do you think? I'm easy? Like, that was 4 hours ago. Now you think I'm just going to take you out? I'm not that type of guy. I go, I'm parked right over here. Come on over. Beetlejuice is number one again. It's made like $226 million. I don't know if it was number one this weekend, but I never saw the first one. Did you ever see the first one?
I did.
Were you a fan?
A long, long time ago, I watched it as a young pup, and I enjoyed it then, and I rewatched it a couple of months ago. My wife had never seen it, so I was like, all right, it's on Max. Let's go. We watched the damn thing, and it was 80s cheese. But it was good. I liked it, you know. It was kind of a little bit nostalgic for me. I really enjoyed the movie. And from what I have not seen Beetlejuice, but from what I understand from those who I've spoke to who have seen the movie, there's a lot of that nostalgia, cheese, 80s stuff that they worked into Beetlejuice.
And Michael Keaton's in it.
Yeah, and, you know, he's a freaking phenomenal actor to begin with.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
So I have high hopes for it, but I have not had a chance to watch it yet, no.
No, I mean, again, it's crushing. I didn't think it was going to do this good. Can you remember the last time? I know, Dom, you said last week you can't remember. I can't remember the last movie I went to. Can you?
Yeah.
You in the movies?
Yes. Up until this year, it had been forever, but I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine twice.
How was that? Twice?
I went twice,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Look, you know, growing up, I was a Marvel comic nerd, kind of like Curtis over there from Cool
You little
105.5.
and maybe like in a snowstorm, you could pass for Hugh Jackman. You got a little bit in the face.
Yeah, in a snowstorm.
I'd be like, you.
That would about to be a damn blizzard, my friend. But no, I loved it, you know, and I'm like, I couldn't wait. My brother too. So we went and watched the movie together. It was a great time. We had a few beers before we went and watched it the first time. So I was like, yeah, I had a little buzz before we watched it. So I was like, I got to go back and watch it a second time. In the morning time, no beers, no nothing. I'm glad I did. It's such a great movie. And, man, it killed the box office. And I'm like, all right, Beetlejuice is the movie that's going to come along and really kind of put the Deadpool and Wolverine into the dirt. And so far, it's what it's doing.
Now, one of the things that I didn't know about you, we're talking to Jason, who does mornings on the Gator, and he was at Real Radio years ago, is that you play saxophone.
Yeah, for 33 years now, I've been.
How's that possible? You look like you're 14. So
Gee.
anyway,
Thanks, G.
No, I'm being honest. One of my buddies is getting married in like 2 weeks, and he's having a small ceremony at his house. So ironically, he says to me over the weekend, he goes, "You know what I like to get? Maybe a guy playing the piano or somebody playing the saxophone." So I said, "I know a guy who would do it for you." He goes, "Really?" And this guy's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got. So I threw in a bit of 3 hours.
Jesus, G.
Wait, whoa.
Okay,
Relax.
all right.
3 hours. So you figure you're only going to do 2 because you're going to talk a little bit. People are going to come up to you. So, and I figured a little piece for the Greek. What do you think? What do you think the price is?
A little finder's fee.
What do you think the price is? It's in Boca, big house.
2 stacks.
Oh, 3. I told him you want 3,000.
I mean, I'm base level at 30 grand here, buddy.
Oh, you want 30 grand?
Oh, yeah, 30
for 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
10 I mean, finder's fee.
Wow.
You're gonna get. A
if
nice
you're
cut of
getting
that.
30 grand for 3 hours, you should not be on this show, brother.
Yeah.
Get out.
Look, I don't have a set list prepared for that type of stuff. I don't have, the.
Well, I'm going to be with you in between talking.
Right. Okay. All right.
I thought 3 grand was a nice thing. I was like, that's not bad.
So actually, I quietly played a gig on Friday night with a band that I was with for a long time, and we played at a brewery up in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
And I don't have time to practice or rehearse and all that, and so it's like, all right. Occasionally they'll hit me up and they'll be like, hey, you want to do a gig? Maybe like 1 or 2 a year.
Frances said she came to see you one time.
Yeah,
she said you were excellent.
That was the first time I had played. That was earlier this year at Terra Firmata in Stewart. It would have been February. That was the first time I played out with the band in probably like 5 years or something like that. So, but we used to play every weekend. So it was a regular thing. But I mean,
now, did you play when you were in Cleveland or no?
Just down in the basement when I was all solo by myself or whatever. I always kept the chops up a little bit, but I was never regularly playing. Did I play any gigs publicly? No. But
so 3,000 for 3 hours is not good for you?
No,
really?
No.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Time is money.
Really? So somebody won
and time ain't cheap, my friend.
Really? So what would somebody have to pay ballpark for 3 hours? Because I could get like 9 girls in Boca for 3 hours.
I'm not
That's
a
true.
horse, G.
Oh my God, my mother just walked to the studio. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, listen. So,
God bless you. That's
it's in a solo
fantastic.
performance. There's no band. There's none of that, right? Then
It's just you by the pool, hanging out with a little microphone, and I'm going to come in and out because I'm going to be at the wedding.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so expensive.
And then I got to learn all these songs that I don't know, and then I got to memorize them.
Simple stuff.
Simple stuff.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
Right. You just want to get that sweaty sax out there, don't you?
Oh, man, I'm impressed, but I didn't know the ballpark I was in. So wow, I'm going to have to definitely.
Honestly, G, I've only done a solo gig one time, and that was for my best friend's wedding.
Okay.
And it was strictly to play a song as everybody was walking down the aisle.
Oh, so that was it.
That was it.
All right.
Can't Help Falling in Love.
Nice.
Was the song, and it was just a favor to him. Other than that, I'm usually, if we do play, if I have
How about
time.
Men at Work? It's a mistake.
Who can it be now? Oh,
no
man.
lyrics.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Well, at least I got a little education today.
Maybe some Careless Whisper. That'll cost you $1,000 in and of itself.
Okay, good. That's awesome.
Everybody, if you know a sax player, I guarantee you've gone up to him and said, "Can you play Careless Whisper?"
Yeah, and they have.
And I'm like, you hear it every time. Yeah, I'll do it for $1,000. Let's go.
Now, was it? Because I sat next to him on a plane one time, and I know I'm going to get his name wrong, but it's not surprising. Dave Koz.
Dave Koz, yeah. Yeah, amazing smooth jazz player. Yeah,
he was
I had a chance
unbelievable.
to see him at Kravis Center probably about 10 or 15 years ago, and he is just an absolutely amazing smooth jazz player, like really good.
He was shocked that I even knew who he was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he had, he came up with this thing in his mind sitting next to me, and he did see me at the airport talking to a couple of people. So then when I came on, and I kept looking at him, and I had one of his albums because I liked him.
Right.
And I said to him, I don't know if you get this a lot or not. I go, are you that saxophone? He goes, yeah. He goes, and I'm shocked that you know who I am. And I was like, yeah, I like the stuff. I mean, it was really cool.
Typically that's more of a female audience. That might be why he's a little shocked there. But I mean, I like Dave Koz.
It's like this trumpet player, man, I forget his name, and I went to go see him a couple times. Chris Botti.
Okay.
I love Chris Botti.
He's great.
I went
also saw him at Kravis.
Yeah, I saw him at Kravis. I went alone to Kravis because the girl I was with didn't want to go. And during the whole thing, I kept looking around because I wanted to make like somebody was like, can I come? It's like when I got off the plane, JetBlue, I faked a call on the phone because you don't want to act like you have no family or friends or nobody loves you. So you pick up the phone, you're like, I love you, yeah. All right, when I get home, I'll walk the dog. And then you hang up and everybody looks at you, yeah, it's the one. Because everybody calls somebody when you get off the phone. You get off the plane.
You care too much about what other people think, man. Like, I could give a rat. Okay. I was saying, man, I could give a rat's ass if people think that I have somebody to call when the plane lands and go walk the dog and all that. Like, damn, man.
It's good.
Screw those people.
It's good material.
All right, fine.
I couldn't get a shoe shine up there, but I could get moisturizer for $198. 877-927-6969. Is the Dolphin season going to be over before October 1st? Let us know what you think, Dolphin fans. You guys got to give us a call. Let us know what you think about it. Going to be a big game tonight. They are playing 7:15, and Jason says the seats are reasonable tonight.
They are. I haven't looked lately.
So you're saying you can get into the stadium for $40?
But as of yesterday, you could have got in for $40. Yeah,
that's inexpensive. Dom, you want to go?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'll buy you 2 tickets just to thank you for everything.
This guy had a weekend. Dom over here.
I was at Universal.
You're up at Universal Orlando Resort, right?
Yep, lots
Halloween
of fun.
Horror Nights, right?
Oh yeah.
How was it, man?
It was great. The rides are great. The haunted houses were great. I did the Insidious house first, and that was pretty scary. That one, I got jump scared a few times.
Okay.
Did the Rip Ride roller coaster, the one at Universal.
Right.
Did Velocicoaster at Islands.
How was Velocicoaster?
That one's my favorite out of any of the
Still
rides
haven't
there.
been on this ride yet.
I don't like Ferris wheels. Roller
This is not a
coasters.
Ferris wheel. This is a roller coaster, man.
I pump out after lap dances. I mean,
yeah, that's a lot for you.
Well, that thing gets up to like 70 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, it's quick. There's probably over 100 feet drop. I know.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Damn. You went with Curtis from Cool 105.5, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Me and
all
Curtis had a lot of fun running around Halloween Horror Nights.
I bet.
That's awesome. They do a fantastic job there.
They really do. I mean, I went last year.
You and Franny, right?
Yes, for the first time in a long time to Halloween Horror Nights, and I forgot just how good of a job they do.
Yeah, we should broadcast up there every year. It's fantastic.
I was talking to Curtis this morning before we jumped onto the Penthouse, and I said, looks like you guys are having a good time up there. He's like, oh, it was a blast. And I was like, well, I saw one of your posts on Instagram, and I don't know about you guys, but, you get those suggested posts or these just random posts that just show up in your feed or whatever. At Real Radio 921 on Instagram, by the way. If you want to give us a follow, please do so. Shameless plug.
You're allowed.
We're
the king of that.
Every once in a while, I'll get randomly fed like images from war zones.
Okay.
Especially there's a lot going on in the Middle East right now, and a lot going on with Russia and all of that. And I don't know why it's being fed into my feed, but it occasionally is being shown to me. So I'm going through Instagram on Saturday afternoon, and all of a sudden this picture pops up in my feed. And I'm like, I just kind of gave it a quick glance and looked at it, and it was this woman that had something sewn over her mouth, and she was all bloody and everything. And I was like, man, there it is again. One of these freaking war zone pictures that I don't want in my feed. And I go to hit, don't show this to me anymore.
Okay.
And then I was like, what? I know somebody in that picture.
Oh, God.
It was Curtis. And it was them at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. And their makeup and their actors are so good. It tricked me. I mean, I thought that was something from a war zone.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really impressive. It doesn't cease to amaze me how well they do. Obviously, everything's movie grade there.
Sure. Fantastic. Top of the line.
And if you're jumpy at all, man, they are going to get you.
Oh, I got a good reel of it's on the Cool 1055 Instagram and on the Real Radio Instagram.
Awesome.
And it's of these group of girls getting scared in one of those scare zones, and it's they jump out of they just straight up jump. It's great.
That's awesome. Dom had a good time at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Check out his reel at Real Radio 921. It's on there and Cool 1055, right?
Both.
Cool.
If you're a Met fan today, it's all there for you. You got to win one game. It's a doubleheader. Marlins won yesterday, last game of the year, and they won. Terrible year, obviously. They're not bringing back the manager, but they did win their last game of the year. In between, they got crushed, but you know what? At least they won the last game of the year. So, Met fans, I know you guys get very excited today. You got a shot. You lose 2, it'll suck. Yes, Tom?
What do you think about the Oakland A's?
About them leaving?
Yep.
I mean, it's all business. And that's what sports is today. You have to realize that. The fans had many opportunities to go out there, and they just didn't. The stadium was very old. I mean, the A's played there in the 70s, and the Raiders.
That city has gone through so much change.
Yeah.
They lost 3 freaking teams
in the last
5
years.
Right? 5 years, okay.
Yeah, but it's basically because of attendance, and they don't want to pony up. If they did, Vegas is giving their opportunity. We're saying, hey, well, and again, everybody looks at it one way, and I understand. It sucks for the fans. But the people who own the team, it's a business.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I'm sorry to say that. And you know what? They look at it like, hey, I can go to Vegas. They're going to give me money. They're going to help me out, and I don't have to worry about all this. I think it sucks when teams leave. I feel bad for the real fans. The fans that when their team loses on a Sunday, they're upset Monday. The real fans. But the business side of it is, and that's what it is all business, unfortunately. And it's like, sorry. And in life, I hate to tell you this, but this is true. If you really know somebody happy, they're a little selfish. They are. You don't like to say it because it makes you sound shallow and, oh, my God, you're selfish. But I know a lot of people who are a little bit happy, especially girls, and they're selfish. I mean, they got to get a piece. What's in it for me? And that's what the owners did for the A's. It's not like they were there 10 years. They've been here since the 70s. You know what? And they tried so many times to get new stadiums. And for whatever reason, it didn't work out with the city, obviously with them. I don't know all the ins and outs. Okay, because I'm not privy to that.
So I want to get your feedback on that. I look at these billionaire owners who have the wherewithal, have the money. This is their team. They're the ones that are profiting from it. But yet, every single time I look at these scenarios, they're going to the city with their hand out, expecting the city to pay for half or parts of it. And I don't think that is fair.
Well, that's just the way it is, and I don't think it's fair either. And the city does it because you're held almost hostage. Because then if you don't, then they go, we'll go to someplace else. The way that stops, and it won't stop, is just like in sports when a player signs a contract and says, I'm not happy. And you go, but you signed a contract. You go, well, Denver called me. Washington called me. Same thing. They're having problems with the kids in college football where kids want to leave. If the other cities got shut down and you couldn't accept it, then there's nowhere else
It's
to go.
getting all the cities on the same page, and that's never going to happen.
No, it doesn't happen anything in life. Because, again, somebody's garbage is somebody's treasure. They look at it and they go, you know what? We can make a lot of money for the team. We can make a lot of money for the city. We can create jobs. Every place in the world wants to create jobs.
Of course.
And that's the first thing you hear people say. It's going to create this many jobs. It's going to help the community. We're going to build around, and we're going to make the whole community better. Jay-Z right now is offering $200 million to where they're pitching a new casino that he says will make all new housing for everybody. So then when you're there, you look at it as a mayor or the city or the town and look at it and go, man, I don't know if we could pass this up.
It's the ancillary or the side stuff that comes along with it, which I totally understand. But I'm looking at, like, Cleveland's going through a scenario right now.
Yeah.
Right. They've had that stadium. The reason I bring this up is because you had me thinking about the Oakland A's and how they're leaving town. Well, that happened to Cleveland, know, and they overnight, the owners took them and brought them to Baltimore. Ergo, we have the Baltimore Ravens, and then Cleveland's without a team, a historically football-oriented town, right? They get their team back, 1996, 97, whatever that year was, and obviously they've just, crapped the bed ever since then. But now they're looking at a world where it's like, okay, we have the stadium right there on the waterfront, which is, in my opinion, prime real estate. And the infrastructure, the infrastructure getting in and out of that stadium is right there. It's good. It puts you right into downtown when all those crowds are leaving. It's good for all the downtown businesses and all that. Now they're talking about taking the stadium and building a brand new thing way out in a place called Brook Park, which I'm sure neither one of you guys have never heard of.
No.
And it's like, okay, why? And they're going to want to retain the name Cleveland Browns. No, you're the Brook Park Browns, Obviously, they have to keep that name, but it's like it's all because of this billionaire business owner does not want to pay for the stadium to be built and wants the city of Cleveland to do it.
Of course.
And I'm like, this is it's BS.
But again, what did I say in the beginning of the conversation?
I know.
He has an option.
Yeah, he does.
So when you have that option, you look at it. If the NFL came up with something and said, hey, you know what? No, we're not going to do this anymore. These are the franchises we have. We might go with expansion down the road, but we're not going to let you do that to cities. But you can't do it as an owner. I mean, you just do it. I mean, the Clippers this year are playing in an unbelievable stadium, probably one of the nicest ones where the old Lakers were, but the owner is taking care of 90% of that.
Right.
Stephen Ross put $400 million. If he didn't put that money in there and we had a different owner, Dolphins might have left.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, people just come up and they say, hey, it's a blank check. Do I want to do a morning show in Tokyo? No, I don't.
No.
But if somebody said to me, there's a number out there that I would be like, you know what? Let me get my Louis bag and some fortune cookies.
Let's
I'm
go.
out there. And I'll be in Fast and Furious at 9. I mean, but that's what happens. And the everyday person gets screwed.
Right.
But that's just the way it is. And it sucks. We don't make the rules.
Sure.
I mean, we don't, but you feel bad. Like I said, there are people today who are real fans in the NFL who are down. I have friends of mine who don't bet, who are Jet fans, and they're like last night, like, oh my God, like, I can't believe we lost. And those are the people you feel bad for.
I love football, diehard Dolphins fan, but you got to compartmentalize that stuff, man. If the Dolphins lose, it's not the end of the world,
To you, but
I know
a lot of people it is.
I grew up with my father as a lifelong Bears fan.
Oh God,
right? So I've seen the highs.
Yeah.
And I've seen the lows.
Yeah.
They got the friggin' Super Bowl back in the 80s, and then they were crap for a long time.
Yeah.
And now he's starting to feel like he's got a team coming back with that new quarterback and everything. I'm like, Dad, settle down.
It's a game.
It's just a game.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Go to the games, have fun, watch it on Sunday. Don't take it into Monday with you if it was a bad day.
I agree, but people aren't like that.
I know.
I mean, that's what makes them such avid fans.
I get it.
Like when somebody moves out, you see people and they show the stand, people crying. Like crying in the stands, like
they were gathering dirt from. There were people getting cups of dirt from the field.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you a little story that you guys obviously know. Johnny C. He was here for a long time.
Yeah.
I lived and worked at a radio station in Dallas. And I was out there when they blew up the old stadium as they were building the new stadium.
Remember this, yeah.
And I snuck out to the old Cowboy Stadium there, reached through the fence, grabbed a chunk of concrete, and brought it back to Johnny C.
Yeah.
Right? You would have thought I brought him Jesus on the cross or something, man.
Yeah.
Like he was like, and I'm like, dude, this is not authenticated. I don't have anything here.
Yeah.
I literally just reached through the fence and grabbed a piece of concrete, and he lost his damn mind.
Yeah, he's a big fan.
And I'm like, man, I get it. I understand. Like, I've got chunks of the old Orange Bowl stadium hanging in my office at home. And I'm like, but again, it's not like I'm that emotionally invested into it.
Well, there are people that are more loyal to their teams than their significant others.
Again, I'm going to have to favor my wife over the Miami Dolphins, unless she really pisses me off.
But
Married to the sport.
Yeah, you got your life in order. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're talking about people who don't have their
That's
life
fair.
in
No,
order.
I get it.
It is the Penthouse on a Monday where it was pretty crazy in the NFL. The first month has been crazy every single week. We'll come back with a trifecta, talk a little bit about the Dolphins. And is Tom Brady getting better in the booth? Because that's what people are starting to think. And it's only a month. But I'll still bet that he's not doing the whole 10 years. There's no way. It is the Greek, Jason, and Dominic. Francis is out. She should be back tomorrow. Jason says maybe not because of Georgia.
She'll be back.
Possibility.
But we'll see what happens. Peace.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I want to lose weight myself.
Oh my God,
good
you're going to
shape.
get Ozempic, aren't you?
I'm not going to get Ozempic. I'm just cutting calories, and it's working so far. If
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, make some noise! Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu, beginning Monday.
All right, you guys are out for a party, I can tell.
See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage on one show.
This iHeart energy is so incredible. See it all at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu beginning Monday.
Here's traffic on Real Radio.
We're checking out a crash that just cleared on 95. That'll be northbound at Gateway Boulevard. Again, that was blocking your right lane. Now move to the shoulder. Expect delays along the approach. Also looking at an accident 95 northbound at Belvedere Road. Avoid that area. That's traffic. I'm Ricky Rousseau.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Hey, it's the Greek. It is football season. In week one, a Florida bettor went 16 for 16, picked a winner of every single game correctly in a parlay. They turned $15 bet into $104,000. That's a winner. Download the Hard Rock app today and have some fun. It's football season, and it's legal in Florida. Hard Rock app. Download it today. Pace. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-AMIT-IT.
I'm John Morgan. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately, 24/7. Our investigators, legal staff, and over 900 lawyers work together to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. Insurance companies know who we are, and now you know it too. This firm was built for greatness. This firm was built for you. Injured? Call your army. We're ready to roll. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When the going gets tough, the tough gets Storm Smart. Since 1996, Storm Smart has simplified the process of protecting your home while increasing its living space and beauty. Because smart is easy. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
When I say Mo Better Garage has the largest selection of garage doors, it doesn't mean a warehouse full of crappy old doors we're trying to unload. We don't just go to the stockroom and grab something off the shelf that sort of fits. You're not buying a polyester suit off the rack over here. If we're going to help you find a gorgeous modern garage door that complements the architecture of your home, I think you deserve better than just a large, medium, or small. At Mo Better Garage, our direct supplier relationships with the best manufacturers means every garage door we install is actually a custom job. Our technicians measure your home precisely to manufacture a door exactly for your space. And we work with you to pick the color, design, and materials to get you the door that's perfect for you. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it nice. Custom nice.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
You like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Switch to Comcast Business and get started with reliable internet and advanced security for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 10/27/24. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New 300 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back? Discover's got you covered on the last one. That's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
For more information about contests on this station, visit realradio921.com/rules.
Injured? Call Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather at 500-HELP. Help is just a local phone call away.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by Elf Beauty.
We're exactly 40 days from the start of the playoffs in the National Women's Soccer League, and the Orlando Pride continue to be the cream of the crop, atop the table in the standings. The Washington Spirit, New York, New Jersey, Gotham FC, and the Kansas City Current are in a pack just behind them, making a clear-cut top tier of 4 elite teams. The Current's Temwa Chawinga continues to be the lead of the Golden Boot race for the league's top goal scorer. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast.
84% of sports fans are into women's sports, but they only get 15% of the media coverage. Doesn't add up. As a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports, Elf Beauty is serious about igniting conversations that'll reshape the future of sports. Join the movement at elfbeauty.com.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Greek's Trifecta is sponsored by Mo Better Garage. Mo Better Garage. We make it way Mo Better. MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
It is The Penthouse back on a Monday, and you got an opportunity to win $1,000. It's coming at you again. Last time we had this contest, we had a couple winners. We want a couple more. Believe me, management likes to pay $1,000. They get jacked up. They actually come up to us and say, good job.
Gee, there's nothing that I like more than seeing this company have to part ways with its money by giving it to our listeners. I love it. I love it. We give away a keyword at the top of every hour, so your next keyword's coming up right at noon.
That's awesome. Why don't we work on my bonus?
Yeah, preach to the choir, buddy.
Dominic is here.
Hello.
Franny's here. Franny's not here. Hi. Yeah. Franny's not here. Jason's in here working on my bonus, which I think is great news. It's going to keep me sky high today, flying around. If you see me, because I have a big lunch meeting in Palm Beach later, and I look like Peter Pan, that's because Jason just told me he's going to help me get a bonus. It's time for a Greek trifecta. It's good.
I got a picture of you in tights now, man.
That's awesome. Whatever gets you through the day. Met fans, you got a chance. It's the last day, but your team's still in it. Are they amazing? Let's find out. All the Mets have to do is win one game, and they're in the baseball playoffs. And you never know once you get in the playoffs. Dodgers had the best record in the National League. Yankees in the American League. And there is Monday Night Football. 2 games tonight. Seattle undefeated against Detroit. They have a hard time building cars, but guess what? I think they're going to stop Seattle tonight. That's not a pick. That's a lean. And then our Miami Dolphins at 7 o'clock take on Tennessee. Let's go, Dolphins.
Let's go.
Back.
Fins up, baby.
Fins up. Hill's got to get the ball somehow. You see other teams do it. Dallas did it with CeeDee Lamb the other night. You got to give him the ball, end around, screen passes. Same thing with Waddle. Give the guys you're paying $45 million a chance to play. Mm-hmm. So when the game's over, they don't look like they were just walking through Saks Fifth Avenue. Come on, let's make this happen. Dolphins win. There's only 2 teams in the NFL that are undefeated, and Seattle's one of them. But the other 2 right now are Minnesota and the Chiefs. Chiefs got bad news, though. Rice, their all-pro wide receiver, might be out for the year with ACL. They already lost Pacheco. Is this going to be a big trauma for Mr. World Mahomes? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He can win with the Kardashians, and I think he really could. I don't know about Kim on a down and out, but I think Khloe can handle it. There's no doubt about it. Khloe will take the down and out.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I know you would. Who wouldn't? And in college football, one of the best games ever people are talking about is Georgia and Alabama. Alabama goes up 28-0, spots them 28. Georgia comes all the way back, takes the lead with 2 minutes left. It was definitely a game where, man, you had your ups and downs. You want to talk about the stock market being crazy. And then the Alabama threw a bomb to a kid 17 years old. I didn't even know you can play in college at 17. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and he had a great catch, made 2 great moves. He scored. And then Georgia drove all the way down, and they were trying to be too cute. I love when teams, like, try to score at the perfect time with no time left. Just friggin' score. Like, don't try to leave with 4 seconds left.
Right.
They just score. He threw a fade pattern, 1 too many, and guess what happened? He got picked off. Alabama won. Saban was happy, and everybody was happy down in Alabama. Greek's Trifecta is sponsored by Pollard Coffee Bar in Deerfield Beach. Peace.
Creek, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're pretty well aware that I'm a diehard Dolphins fan. Do you know I have a B team, right?
A B team.
B team. My NFC team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh.
Baker Mayfield, killing it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think's going on over there? Is he their future? Like, they picked him up last year, or going into last year, thinking, I'm like, oh, all right, he'll get us through, you know. But I think he's gone into that franchise and changed the mindsets of the management, of the ownership, and everybody. They're doing all right over there.
Well, you see a lot of times in sports, just like in work, where you have a different player,
right,
and you have a different coach, and your confidence comes a lot in life from your boss or your coach. And you see it a lot with Tua with the Dolphins, obviously. You see with Darnold in Minnesota.
Sure.
And you see with Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker was in Cleveland, and all they wanted to do was get rid of him.
Right.
They just didn't like him for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if it was something to do with they thought that he wasn't as focused. He was doing all the commercials and different things. But he's over here. He's got 2 stud receivers, first of all.
Does.
I mean,
Evans is a dude,
Hall of Fame.
Like, he absolutely 100% Hall of Famer.
10 years in a row, 1,000 yards.
It's insane.
Nobody talks about him.
And look, I'm a Tyreek fan, obviously, Dolphins fan. He got voted the number 1 player by the players about a month or so ago. Man, I'm telling you, I don't want to besmirch the Tyreek Hill name and saying he's not the best wide receiver in the league, but Evans is right up there, man. Like, the numbers don't lie.
No.
His dedication doesn't lie. He is freaking amazing.
Tariq, the one thing with him that I know it eats at him every day, and people don't like to mention this, the trade was good for the Dolphins, but the Dolphins didn't win. The Chiefs got rid of him, saved $50 million, and won 2 Super Bowls, and Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards. When he left, everybody's like, it's over. The Chiefs are done.
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody, they lost Tariq Hill. And not that Tariq hasn't been good for us.
Right.
He's been good.
Great.
Yeah, he's been good, great, whatever, but we haven't won. My point. So a lot of times when you go to a new place, it's just a whole new atmosphere.
Right.
And it's that coach, and I say it every day because everybody doesn't play sports. When you're a boss, if you're listening, you have anybody in there, if you tell them have a good day or you're doing a good job, it means something. I'm sorry, it does. Because who doesn't like to hear 2 things? Well, actually 3. You look good today, you're doing a good job, and you're getting a bonus. Who doesn't like to hear those 3 things, right? You have anybody ever say that? Like, oh, my God, you're pissing me off? So when you have a coach that believes in you, it could change everything. Even the littlest things. We heard Tua talk about Flores where he said, I came in every day. He told me I sucked. I shouldn't have been picked.
Oh, it was a shift in attitude. Instant.
But I'm saying you don't also realize when you're a boss or a manager how you can change somebody to do better, and it helps you. Because you say the little things like, hey, you're doing a good job. Hey, I noticed that.
Well, and the adverse of that, too, and to the point you were just about to make, is like he was coming in. Flores was just down and outing him, talking mess about him to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And, he was in his own head.
Of course.
So it's not just it would have been better if he just didn't say anything as opposed to what he was saying to Tua. Yeah. And then Mike McDaniel comes in, completely different mindset, knew what he had, knew he had an accurate passer. Obviously, now we've got an interesting situation with injury and all of that.
Yeah, that's different.
But still, the mindset is different, and it's all because of Mike McDaniel versus Flores.
Yeah, and the thing with McDaniel and Flores is 2 different things. A, McDaniel listened.
Right.
So when he sat down with Stephen Ross, and Stephen Ross said, I love Tua.
Right.
You don't fight him. You go, okay, well, then I got to love him, and I got to make him better.
Do you think
Flores fought him?
Yeah. Do you think, it's been kind of quiet because there's just been so much, the news cycle is so fast, but any fallout coming Flores' way after that interview?
Flores, the 2 things that happened for him that really increased his credibility was all the players on Minnesota love him.
They rallied around him.
And he is doing very good for the Vikings.
Sure.
And the NFL wants to go in a different direction with head coaches. We'll see what happens. I thought from the beginning, that Flores jumped in front of it that day. He had a press conference.
Sure.
I didn't like that he wore shades, but that's me because I think you want to see the person's face.
Right.
But he said, hey, I got to do better. You obviously
said all the right things.
Yeah, but you also saw, it's like somebody going through a divorce. That's what Tua reminded me of. When somebody's still angry years later over a divorce, you can tell in 2 seconds when somebody talks. Tua's still mad. Tua's got tons of money. He's married. He's in a great situation, but he's angry. And in that interview, and you and I do radio for years, I don't think it was planned. I think it was like, hey, what are you doing? Because when you sit down with somebody big, you always ask them like, hey, can I bring this up or can I not? I had Eric Coleman on for the Jets on Friday in Greek Zone, and I asked him a couple things. I said, can I bring up this? Can I say that? He goes, Greek, go ahead.
It's out of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't blindside somebody like that.
Yeah, but he was cool with it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So there was a lot of anger in him, and even though he's done so much better, you would think, I would maybe hear that interview with Tua was out of football. But where he's starting, you could see how much anger was still there, and it was sad.
Sure.
It really was. And I said, to me, it reminded me of a guy or a woman who goes through a divorce and still is mad 2-3 years later.
Right.
Because they haven't moved on or they have that anger. And that's the way Tua sounded. I don't think it helped Flores, no doubt. I think people were like, the only thing that's okay for him now is because he is winning, but he also had the case against the NFL.
Sure.
I think if he steps away, who knows if they need a head coach a year from now. But I think in any interview it's going to be brought up.
Right.
Like, what about Tua? And if Tua has success, if he doesn't get hurt, say he comes back this year or the Dolphins played well, then it makes him look worse.
I was actually kind of surprised, and I know he was in a comfortable setting with Lebitard and all that when all that was coming out, and he's such a great interviewer and a great media person. But I was surprised because normally Tua is somebody that is very reserved, keeps his private life private. He's known for that. And for him to just really just go on and really open up about that, I was very surprised. So I think you have a very solid point in that he's still butthurt about it.
He's hurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. And a lot of things in life, you never forget somebody who treats you bad.
Right.
You just don't. It bothers you more than people who treat you well.
I got a list a mile long, brother.
Forget that.
Forget them. Let's do a giveaway.
That's right. You guys got a good chance right now to see the Panthers. They are the champs. It seemed like last week they were in Fort Lauderdale drinking beer.
I can't believe it's already here this fast, man. And like the opening, the ceremony game is going to be here in just a few days. I'm excited for it.
Oh,
It's just going to be awesome. And yeah, we got the hookup for that for sure.
Fourth caller right now. You want to go see the Panthers opening night. They are champs. First time in 30 years I can say it. Call us right now at 877-927-6969. You'll be going to see the Panthers and a 4-pack, I believe.
Yes.
The fourth person. That's big. You get you and 3 of your friends. If you don't have 3 friends, you know what? You buy them.
Take me and G.
877-927-6969. Maybe. I'm not going to say no.
Maybe.
I can see what happens. I'm still working. I'm still blown away by the 3,000 for the sax line. Just kill me. There was only one girl. There was a girl over the weekend told me she wanted 5,000 for a toss, and I was like,
my God,
5,000.
Hey, man.
But now I'm going to text her later and said, "What if Jason's getting more than 3,000? Maybe the 5 for a toss wasn't bad."
Oh man, too funny. Hey, and the other cool thing, back to the Panthers, man. It's just like it was yesterday that they won. And the other cool news is, if you can't watch the games, you're too busy or whatever, we've got your play-by-play coverage. Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7, your official FM home for Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Gee, I've been waiting 30 years to say that.
Let me ask you something. Do we have to do the games too?
No, we don't have
it's
to.
Jason and Green.
No, Doug Plagens, hands down, one of the best hockey play-by-play guys out there. He does such a good job.
It's a great
love
stadium.
listening to him. I when I'm watching the games, I oftentimes sync up with the radio station so I can listen to his call while the game is happening. I was doing it during the Stanley Cup playoffs, during the final, and he is so good at it. Every once in a while, his reel will come up on Instagram of him calling that winning.
Yeah.
And the Florida, oh my God. It just
You're
gives
a real
me the
fan.
chills,
That's awesome.
Man.
The best thing about where the Panther Stadium is right by the Sawgrass Mall, and I love the Prada outlets. Who do we have?
We have the winner, and his name's Pat.
Hey, Pat, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're doing great, Pat. Obviously, you're a big Panther fan.
Oh, yeah, I've been to quite a few games.
Well, you excited to go to the game with 3 of your friends?
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for listening to Real Radio. We appreciate it. Enjoy yourself and have a good time.
Thank you very much. You guys take care.
You too.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. Wow, awesome.
So just to go off on a little hockey tangent real quick, G, they kept the core of the team. There were some players that were let go or went off to different teams, whatever. The core is still there.
You need that.
Barkov is still there. Chucky's still there. Reinhardt's. I mean, it's
pressure's on this year.
The pressure's on. Look, Tampa did a repeat not too long ago. I love for the Panthers to do a repeat, and Canada lives for hockey, right?
Oh yeah.
And if it were to happen where the Panthers repeated in this coming season,
that'd be amazing.
For a repeat to happen in Tampa and a repeat to happen in South Florida, that would just piss off Canada so much.
So let me ask you, as a gentleman who works for a big corporation, iHeart, and a big Panthers fan, I think you know where I'm going. About a month or 2 ago, there was an employee who got fired for taking a picture of the logo. Remember the new logo?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that? And should he have got fired or suspended?
Look, everybody that's in that organization that knows what's going on, especially when it comes to the logos, they have a plan for these things.
Sure.
And that guy knew that they were going to make a big to-do about it because every team has to unveil their circle on front for the NHL. But this was something special because it was on the heels of winning the Stanley Cup, and they were doing a special cup-themed logo for it. And for that guy to leak it out, why? What was the point of it?
But do you think I'm saying, would you have suspended him or fired him? Fire is such a hard thing. You destroy somebody's life.
Yeah.
And I understand your point, but I'm saying like that. Now, if there was emails who went out and said, do not share this.
I promise you there was. I promise you there was.
There, Dom?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, we get stuff like that all the time. I'm sure they gotta.
Okay. Look, we're very calculated on embargoing information until a certain date, right? They are the same way.
Yeah.
They're not a fly-by-night team. They've been around for a while. They're well-managed. This guy, for some reason, either wanted his way out or wanted to get some followership on social media or something like that. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, you know what? I don't blame them for firing the guy.
Just want to see what you thought.
It's so hard for secrets to be kept nowadays.
With everything.
I think that something as big as that, or at least the perception of how big it was, you limit your audience of knowledge. You limit the people that you tell ahead of time.
Best secret's no secret.
Exactly. So that said, looking at what's going to be on center ice this coming season, man, I think it looks great. They were able to take the design. There's these certain little etchings of the design inside the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
We know this because we got to hold the cup last year. It was fantastic. They brought it through our iHeart West Palm Beach studios and got to see those designs and everything. They were able to do it justice, make it part of the shield inside of the circle there. It looks great. I can't wait to get to some more Panthers hockey games.
Yeah, one of the things that another thing that happened last week, which I thought was sad, was Dan Campbell of the Lions has to sell his house.
It's ridiculous
because his daughter's classmate freaked out his where he lives, and somebody came to the house. And those things, when I see, bother me because I feel bad. There's a guy who's got his house, and you know what? I don't care who you are. You could be a millionaire or don't know where your next meal's coming from or whatever your life situation is. When you move, it sucks. It just sucks. So I think that was a bad scenario. And today, there's no privacy anyway. That's the thing.
That was on the heels. Like, he's got to keep his address private because people come by and harass him at his own house.
That's it.
Like, absolutely insane.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great thing to do. I feel bad for them, and I feel sad that it has to go through that. Kurt Herbstreit, which is he's an announcer for ABC. He does a lot of things with Amazon. He was a Ohio State quarterback, and years ago, when he first started, he would, be honest about Ohio State, and he had to move because his 3 sons were getting destroyed in school.
Ridiculous.
So I do hate that side of social media when people do that and when they come out because, like we said, there isn't really anything confidential anymore. But it was a sad story to me where the guy's got to sell his house. It was he loved it. He was in Detroit. I never heard anybody say they loved Detroit. 3 acres. I'm like, you got one guy, you got to chase him off.
Hey man, that's a fun town. Creektown specifically in downtown Detroit is a good time. They named it after you, G. I mean, I'm just saying.
I know. I've heard that. I try to stay away from certain areas. Detroit, Cleveland.
You're insane, G. Beautiful during the summer.
I could have went to the Super Bowl years ago when it was in Detroit, and I passed. I'm not going to Detroit. And my buddies were trying to be like, man, Canada is right there. There's casinos. I'm like, I'm still not going.
What?
I'm still not going. Up in the air is my Thanksgiving weekend, which I talked about. 3 of my friends want to go to Vegas for Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know. I've never been to Thanksgiving. I've never been to Vegas for Thanksgiving. I do feel a little guilty in certain ways. And 2 of my buddies are just at their divorces, and I'm like, oh God, I could just see how this weekend's going to go. 4 days. And over the years, I have definitely changed where I like to take a girl instead of my friends. Because when you take a girl, even though this sounds crazy with the people I date, it's actually less money. Because one of my friends or 2 of my friends crap out.
Right.
So you have to give them money.
Sure.
And then somebody's really depressed. And then somebody's in love with a stripper. So these
It never stops.
It never stops. And then you're at Fremont Street at like 4 a.m. at a psychic place.
Ouch.
That's the last place you want to be. Wow.
That's another story. And then somebody, I'm shocked. 2 things that shocked me this weekend. Actually, 3. Colorado blew out, and they were getting 11. That surprised me. Jason gets more than $3,000 for 3 hours. And this girl who wanted $5,000 for a toss, money up front. I said, can we do 25 and 25? She said, no. She goes, I want the 5 up front. I was like, wow. And very strong about it. I mean, very open, really pushing me. And I was like, that's just a lot. I got to be honest with you.
Hey, man, when you go to the grocery store, they don't let you walk out of the store with the groceries without paying first, right?
Yeah, but I wanted the whole scene, like, the lit candle.
All right.
We both wear feety pajamas that says Ocean 11. She's like, no, I can't do that. I said, okay. But hats off to Jason because I am impressed. Your credibility went up with me big time.
Hey, man.
I'm telling you.
Time is valuable.
That's right. Caviar is not cheap.
You got that right.
And remember, 2 weeks from now, stone crab season.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Get over to Joseph's Classic Market. It is the Greek. It is Jason. It is Dominic. Franny's out today. She's on vacation. We'll see how she is tomorrow when Georgia. I'm not bringing up Georgia tomorrow.
I might.
Oh, you might. You should play the end of the game. And Alabama wins. Oh, when she walks in.
That'll be the intro.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll be back in a few minutes. Peace.
The visual aid you need for all the freaky stuff we talk about on the radio. Find it at realradio921.com. Getting you up to speed on traffic on Real Radio.
We're checking out a crash that just cleared on 95. That'll be northbound at Gateway Boulevard. Again, that was blocking your right lane. Now move to the shoulder. Expect delays along the approach. Also looking at an accident 95 northbound at Belvedere Road. Avoid that area. That's traffic. I'm Ricky Rousseau.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of the Hollywood heartthrob and World War II spy, Peter Ortiz. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Hey, it's Greek from Monroe's and Palm Beach. Watch the game with beautiful girls every Monday night. All new game booths available. Whether your team wins or loses, you're a winner at Monroe's. Bottle packages all night long. Raffles and beer bucket specials during every live game. It's Monroe's and Palm Beach Monday night. That's where you need to watch football. 7 days a week, Monroe's is open with the beautiful ladies and a 5-star restaurant. Get over to Monroe's today. They make a good night a great night at Monroe's and Palm Beach. Peace.
Come on out to the Vero Bowl this Sunday for our next Miller Lite Pro Football watch party of the season as Miami takes on New England. Great food and drink specials, including $3 Miller Lite drafts during all televised pro football games all season long. Plenty of Real Radio swag and a chance to win a pair of tickets to an upcoming Miami game. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Vero Bowl Lounge and Lanes, 929 14th Lane in Vero Beach. See you there.
When I say Mo Better Garage has the largest selection of garage doors, it doesn't mean a warehouse full of crappy old doors we're trying to unload. We don't just go to the stockroom and grab something off the shelf that sort of fits. You're not buying a polyester suit off the rack over here. If we're going to help you find a gorgeous modern garage door that complements the architecture of your home, I think you deserve better than just a large, medium, or small. At Mo Better Garage, our direct supplier relationships with the best manufacturers means every garage door we install is actually a custom job. Our technicians measure your home precisely to manufacture a door exactly for your space. And we work with you to pick the color, design, and materials to get you the door that's perfect for you. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it nice. Custom nice.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Florida Talk Real Estate is your one-stop real estate shop. Whether you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, you're stuck with a home and you don't know what to do, look no further than FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Listen every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. until 11, right here on Real Radio 92.1.
Welcome to Homestead Miami, your home for the racing highlight. A track as vibrant and colorful as South Florida. An Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series playoffs doubleheader on Saturday. A Cup Series playoffs showdown on Sunday. And it's all caliente.
Side by side for the race lead.
NASCAR playoffs weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, October 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at HomesteadMiamiSpeedway.com.
Hell of a job, guys.